Day 27. Man, all right, time's flying, right? Day 27. It's crazy. I think I've probably done maybe about 20 videos now. I'm thinking about it. I know I missed 4 days, I think, of filming, maybe three. So, man, what an accomplishment. That's cool. I would never thought I'd have a YouTube channel that I'm pretty much watching myself and maybe some close friends and a couple family members might be in there. But anyways, but 20 videos or so. I haven't counted them yet, but I think it's got to be around 27. If I'm on, I mean, around 20. I'm on day 27. I've only missed maybe 3 or 4 days, so that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. So today was kind of it's the first of the month, right? So it's always nice to go back. I don't do it every first of the month. Maybe I should, but to kind of reflect over on all the accomplishments and the cool things that you did over the month. And I'd say February was pretty good. Lost some weight, feel more in shape, eating habits are better, making better decisions, and looking at all those parts of life that are very important. Relationships being probably the number one. God, spirituality, relationships, those are so important. Health, career, continuous improvement, continuous development, finances, really hit the mark on pretty much all those. So there's a lot of intentional focus on all those different areas, and that's what Better Busy is about. Like how do you utilize your time on the things that really matter to you? So hopefully it's an equation to lead a happy life, and that's what it's about, right? So I'm a big believer that decreasing your stress or keeping your stress at a good, healthy level is actually good for overall happiness, because it'll bleed into relationships, it bleeds into your finances, bleeds into your health for sure, So keeping that stress, and that's really the trigger, the stimulus is your stress. For example, some people can be super stressed out and they take things out on their loved ones that they don't mean to, or they may resort to unhealthy habits like too much drinking and recreational drugs, stuff like that. Like doing too much of it could have an impact. So anyways, the whole point is being conscious of your stress levels and doing the things that kind of help mitigate it getting out of control. So there's a lot of different practices you can do, you can incorporate in your life. And then there's also things that you can get out of your life that may be adding on to your stress. And then really the third thing is probably the biggest thing is your mindset shift on something that stresses you out. So let's say you get a nasty email from somebody at work. If you're in a good mindset, it will not get to you as much as if you were not in a good mindset. You may react a lot harder. You may take it a little bit more personally. That's just an example. All right. So sometimes when I talk about the big concepts, and I'll give you an example of something. It doesn't mean that's always relatable to you, but trying to pick examples that are a little bit more relatable to most people. So anyways, overall, February was awesome. I'm really happy about it. I feel great today. I weighed in at 203.2. So I'm kind of getting this travel weight off of me pretty quickly. And remember, I was like 206 yesterday. And with my calorie deficit yesterday, and I think I was drinking water and getting a good walk in, that inflammation, that water is going to be coming off of me. So to get me at a good moderate level so that I can be consistent in my weigh-ins. So today we had 203.2. It was funny because I stepped on the scale and it was like 202.8.9. It was like trying to decide what it wanted me to weigh. So I was kind of crossing my fingers and holding my breath, and then it finally said 203.2. So I was like, oh shit. Oh well. I was really hoping for a 202. So that's the second lowest weight I've been all year. My number one lowest weight is 203.0. So I think I'm definitely going to hit that 202 for sure this week. 201 hopefully by the end of the week. Now, it being the first, and I'm taking a big rest right now, but I'm on a little rant. It being the first, I was kind of talking to myself, and I like to reimagine. I like to challenge my thoughts. So I'll go. In fact, that's why I even started doing all this stuff. So I said, could I get down to 189.9? Could I hit the 180s by the end of the month? Like, it is possible. So I'll probably, that'll have to be like a 12, 13 pound drop in 1 month. It's possible. So I'm actually gonna set that goal. I'm gonna set it, plug in a little bit more. I do got some things that come up that are gonna be a challenge for me. So parties, celebrations, dinners. Actually have travel coming in this month multiple times. Those are things that I know now that I got to watch out for. So I can either like pre-plan, maybe do a real low calorie day before I travel or before I go out, which I kind of do already when it comes to dinner. But I got to look at those things. But see, now I know awareness is like the first step to change and improvement. So I'm aware of what I do in my habits. What my habits are when I'm traveling or going out to eat with friends and those types of things. So I got to pre-plan a little bit, maybe getting a stronger mindset of maybe being a little bit more strict this month. I was a little bit lenient this month, even though I was losing weight and doing good, but I can be a lot more strict, like totally. So we'll see. Let me think about that a little bit more on what I want to do because again, I'm about balance. Can I go strict and can I isolate myself? Yeah, 100%. I could totally do that and I can lose weight and I can hit my goal, but that's not my goal. My goal is to balance life and still be able to hit my weight goal, right? So, and I think most people can do that. And you see people doing that all the time. They'll go on something strict and they're like zoned in, focused, and they're not going to have one piece of bread or one carb or anything like that. And they'll lose weight. And those types of things, but I don't want to do that. I want to have a balanced, good, enjoyable time while I'm doing this as well. And I think you can do that. I think it's possible. I think you can build a career and make your fortune without being totally stressed and that where everything else in your life is falling apart. I think you can do that. So that's really a big point of Better You're Busy as well. But anyway, so I'm going to commit. I'm going to try to hit that 189.9 for my milestone. Like the overall goal is to get to 175 by June. But if I can hit 189.9 by April 1st, we'll see what day that lands on. That's going to be pretty awesome, especially doing it in a balanced life. So let's see if I can do it. All right, let me get another set. Jeez, I almost have to do more sets because that was a rant. But hey, man, I'm feeling good. I'm gonna talk. All right, today is Saturday, and I get to rest tomorrow. No workout tomorrow, so I'm just gonna do some shoulders and some arms today. I've done 2 sets of push-pull legs. I just feel like I want to do a little bit more shoulder and arm work. I need to slow it down. Too excited right now. And I don't take pre-workout or anything like that. The only supplements I take are creatine, vitamins. I don't do pre-workout. I drink coffee every day, probably about 3 or 4 cups isn't uncommon for me. And I'm also I'm into matcha tea. So I'll have 3 or 4 cups of coffee and then I'll have a green tea, matcha tea after that. And then I'll cut myself off at around noon on caffeine. And, that's pretty much it. So I don't really get too shaky. I'm taking L-theanine too. So I think that kind of helps out with any shakes if I get them. But I've been drinking coffee like that for, oh God, I don't know how long. I don't know. Years. I mean, more of my life than not. How about that? So I'm in my mid-40s. So, yeah, it doesn't impact me that much. But I do love having that first cup. I can feel the difference. All right, let's get this last set in. Focus on that deltoid. Shoulder. All right. You know what? I'm just gonna keep going here. Just show you maybe a couple sets since I'm chatty Cathy today. I'm just gonna do lat raises. I'll do those sitting as well. But today is busy. I got family stuff all day long pretty much. I got, you know, there's just always something. Especially the kiddos are real busy. I love that. They're super busy, many activities. And they're doing so good. I'm so proud of them. So that's what we're doing today. We got a lot of activities, different ones. So driving around, you know, those parents out there with kids, you know, with teenagers and tweens, y'all know what I'm talking about. All good stuff, man. I think it's fantastic. All right, let's do lateral raises. Y'all know I bend my elbows to do those last little cheats. All right, so after this, I think I'm gonna do some face pulls with the rope. Since the cable isn't, you know, it's perpendicular to the ground, it's not like at an angle to where I can do a good face pull. So I'm gonna have to, I usually will get on my knees, or maybe I'll just I'll sit on the bench, and I'm gonna have to lean back to get at an angle like this to use that cable, because you want that cable on your face pull to kind of be perpendicular to your back. So it's coming like this. Here's the cable. Right now, if I do it like this, I'm doing a face pull like this. Here's like my head, and here's the cable. So I'm almost doing a lat pull down. Doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to do my rear delt, so I got to do something perpendicular to my body, where my body is, right? So those are some of the thinking. Again, we've talked about that a lot, but that's the thinking I have when I'm trying to move into a specific body part. Where's the tension coming from? So that's what I got to do. All right, let's do one more set here, and then I'll move on to the next one. Oh, burn, man. Whew. All right, a couple more sets of that. Face pulls, and then some arms. Okay, this is kind of exciting because of my thoughts on how to get this right angle. I was like, oh, I can actually just lay down at a very minimal incline and get the angle that I need so that I'm perpendicular to the angle of the cable. All right, so I am working out my rear delt, right? And my rear delt pulls my elbow back, right, when they're raised up. You know, here's a little different. That's kind of more like lat. But up here, when my elbows are out, that's my rear delt. So in order to get this tension of pull, I gotta be at an angle that will let me pull that way from the cable that I have. So that would be like right here. So now I'm almost exactly where I want to be. I'm kind of pretty dang close though. It's not perfect, but it's close. But I'm trying to get this angle to where I'm getting that tension on the elbow. And I've already done a couple sets and it's working pretty well. All right, so last set here. So see the angle of the cable? See how it's kind of straight down, perpendicular right here to the ground? But now when I turn it over here, this is where I want to be, perpendicular to that. And so here we go. All right, it's perfect. And I'm just focusing on my rear delt and thinking about pushing my elbows. So keeping my elbows up and focusing on the back of my shoulder. And I'm kind of playing with the angles here, so I'm definitely feeling a burn in my shoulders and in my rear delt. Oh man, it burns. Oh, burnout. Oh, okay, that was cool. That's pretty cool. Like, I've never done those before. You know, this gym's fairly new to me. I got it around Christmas time or like right after the new year. So that was fun. Like, again, once you know those fundamentals of working out and angles of your joints and origin insertion of your muscle, knowing an anatomy, it's all super important from a foundational level. So you can go work out with just about anything, you know, and hit even some isolated muscles. So that's pretty cool. All right, guys, I'm gonna head out because I'm gonna do some supersets of bis and tris real quick. I got a big day, gonna be busy all afternoon into the night, and we'll call it here. 203.2. I think I'm gonna hit 201. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm gonna be real strict this month, more strict than I was in February, because I think I could do even better. And if I think I can hit that 109.9. So let's say that's what we're gonna do. I'm sorry, 189.9. Geez, 109, no, 189.9. If I can get into the 180s, I need to go back on my weight log and be like, dang, when was the last time when I was in my 180s? I mean, it's been years. I definitely know it's been since 2020. So I know it's been about 5 years. Because I was down to 176 after I did a first form challenge in March of 2020, because that's when COVID hit. So I'll never forget that. So I know that's the last time I was in my 170s. And I think my 180s too was 2020. Because that's when I started eating and, you know, having a little bit more wine than normal because of COVID. You remember those days? But anyways, you guys have a great weekend. Get that workout in, get some rest in too. That's going to be a big part of feeling good the next day for the beginning of the next week. And that's just as important as getting those workouts in. Okay. All right. I'm out.